Hi, this is Bruce McCauley from Bald History, and in this series Pop Hits we're going to look at a particular year in history. We're going to look at the events of the year, what's happening in music, and find out the standout song of the year and how it connects to those events. What does it all mean? So today we're starting with 1961. Okay, so in 1961 the Cold War is certainly going. The Americans have their failed attempt to overthrow Fidel Castro using Cuban exiles in the Bay of Pigs. We have Yuri Gagarin as the first human to get to outer space, pushing the Soviet Union ahead in the space race. In East Germany, the authorities there start construction on the Berlin Wall. And in Britain, the Portland spy ring is broken. They're arrested, and later that year George Blake is charged with spying and treason and sentenced to 42 years in prison. In the world of music, a band first appear at the Cavern Club, the Beatles, and they're obviously not well known at this point, but they have their first gig at the Cavern Club. George Harrison joins the band in 1961, and later that year their future manager Brian Epstein sees them. Elsewhere in the charts we've got some girl singing groups like the Shirelles doing well. We've got the kind of country crossover artists like Patsy Cline, and the big song of the year for me though is Stand By Me by Ben E. King. So Stand By Me is a huge towering song which has resurfaced many times in history. Benny King wrote it with Leiber and Stoller, who were songwriters and producers at the time. And the story goes is he was working on a modernized adaptation of a hymn, Stand By My Father, which had actually been in itself updated from an old hymn by Sam Cooke. So he was inspired by that. He was trying to write a modern version of this hymn. He was doing a recording session with Leiber and Stoller, and they had some time left, and they said, well, we've got a bit of time left, do you have any other songs? And he pulled out Stand By Me. They all knew straight away that it had some legs, recorded it, and away it went. And the song was a big hit at the time, and as I say, it's resurfaced. It's been covered by over 400 artists, including Tracy Chapman. Muhammad Ali did a version of it. John Lennon did a big hit in the 70s, and so on. The original version also hits the charts again in the 80s. In 1986, it was in the film of the same name, and then the following year got to number one off the back of a Levi jeans commercial. So it's one of those songs that's been around. I'm sure it's been played at countless weddings and so on, and it's a towering song. And for me, so this song is basically an adaptation of a hymn, of a spiritual song, and it could still be taken in that way. It could still be a kind of spiritual hymn. I always just assumed it to be a love song, and it kind of is. You know, like many great songs, it can be taken whichever way you want it. It's an interesting composition. The actual chord progression has been subsequently called the Stand By Me chords because it's so distinctive, and the bass line is obviously right from the intro a really sort of key thing in the song, and then the vocals are just amazing, carrying you through it. And I guess it's bringing that spiritual, you know, church gospel sort of feeling into the pop world, and it works incredibly well. It's very powerful. It's about love of whatever form you're picturing at the time. So an amazing song, and Stand By Me by Ben E. King.